serious enough. It's only a rehearsal.
Oh, what a bloody shame. It's just getting interesting. Oh, didn't know you was like that, Beanie. Oh, any old port in a storm,
Keep it down, ladies. We are rehearsing. Now, look, anyone not in the show, kindly clear the room, please.
All right, come along, Beanie.
Mean Chief, I'm doing a turn.
You are?
Yeah, vocal duet.
Oh, that'll be, Yeah, well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, be good too, won't it? Yeah.
Yes, Chief. Well, I think we'd better be moving along, don't you?
The decorations are splendid, Miss Collins.
Oh, thank you, Governor. Mrs. Spencer keeps the best selection in a special box. It's quite a ceremony when it's open. Sort of traditional.
Like the Northern concert. How's that coming along?
Oh, usual problems. Inmates you're depending on suddenly get transferred or discharged. This year it was the producer.
We could hardly contest her parole just so that she could produce the Christmas show.
All right, Glenda, it isn't a trampoline. Switch that thing off. Come on now, that's all. That'll do.
Mrs. Spencer, is that stage safe?
If it'll stand Glenda, it'll stand anything, madam.
Hey, Glenda, I thought you were going to give us a dance. I was looking forward to it. You're a lovely mover. Hey, Teresa.
I thought Babs Ryan was in your show. Oh, she walked out, Liz. Jealous, I think.
You know, Babs, she can't stand competition, especially when the other girls are professional.
Knocked them dead in the northern clubs, I hear.
Oh, I can believe it.
She really got to you, didn't she?
Well, frankly, yes. I mean, it's not the sort of thing you expect to see in the association room, is it?
All right. Let's see if I can't find something to bring your temperature down. Now, it's filed under W, I think. Oh, yes, here we are. Finest old whiskey.
Ah, Scotch.
Do me a favour. This is genuine, unblended, bottled in Killarney, Irish Esquibah. Not a drop sold till it's 2 weeks old.
Here, hang about. I'll be for the chop if the governor smells that on my breath.
No, don't worry. I'll give you a chaser. I'll give you a mouthwash that's guaranteed to knock any self-respecting bug dead at 10 paces. Anyway.
Ah, well. Christmas comes but once a year. Cheers.
Snorsha.
Bloody hell, I think I'd better have some water with this.
No. Anyway, how is the festive day progressing?
Bumper turnout at the chapel for carol singing. Christmas lunch and high jinks with the officers serving at the tables. Now the girls are all stuffed full with nothing to do but wait for tea.
Yes, well, I suppose I shall have to put in my ritual appearance. Good health.
Oh, come on, Peter, you enjoyed all as much as any of us. Cheers.
Well, yes, I suppose I do. I certainly don't grudge the women a few days of, well, you could hardly call it forgetfulness. It's more a kind of make-believe happiness.
You sound a bit sour, old son. Touch of the Scrooges. What's wrong? You and Liz planning anything special over the holiday?
How subtle, I mean. What an oblique way of raising the subject.
Well, I had noticed that you've not been seeing as much of each other these days. Welfare keeping her busy?
Too busy.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I wish I did.
Well, you could always ask her.
I'm not very good at the asking. Besides, she is rather a prickly lady at times. It's not always easy to get close enough to broach the subject.
Yeah. Well, she'll come round in her own time.
After the Christmas break, would you write to the Howard League, Miss Clark?
Yeah, surely.
And I'll drop a line to the Welfare Officers Association on behalf of the inmates to thank them for the gifts of sweets and cigarettes.
Well, they'd appreciate that, Governor.
Yes, it means a great deal to the women, particularly those without families, to know that someone's thinking of them at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be serving the wing teas. By all accounts, they're as much fun as the Christmas lunches. I hear Dr. Mays is making a special appearance.
Yes, I believe so.
Will you be there?
Probably. I've just got to pop along to my office. Something I forgot to take home.
And not work, I hope. Well, we'll see you at the Wing concert anyway.
Well, I'm not sure.
I do hope so, Miss Clark. There aren't many occasions we can share with the women.
Yes, of course.
Well, I've 4 wings to get around, so I'd better be on my way.
There you are, my love. Yes, that's lovely. What about this then? All right, Georgie? Oh, Miss Parsons, I can't eat all
Go
that.
on, Geordie, have a go.
Go on, you have it, girl. I'll eat what you leave. Oh, all right, Pete, if you want to. You can have it.
All right, Glenda, leave some for the others.
Oh, my
You won't starve. Have some more rarebit.
Hey, missus, when are they bringing in the fellas?
When that is the governor, Glenda.
That'll be the day.
You gave me a joke cigar. She looks a bit on the quiet side.
Oh, Trixie? Well, she joins in just enough, but she likes to keep herself to herself.
Feels she's a bit too good for the others, does she?
Oh, I don't think it's that. Most of the time, she doesn't even notice them. Welcome to the bun fight, Governor.
Can I get you a cup of tea, madam?
I've had 3 already, thank you.
I see her.
Hello, Mavis. Enjoying yourself?
You'll get another one in a minute. You can wait for it.
Why don't you take it easy? Hey, Marion. I'd take it easy if I were you. That can't be good for the figure.
She has to stuff herself to get a figure to keep.
Hello, Glenda. Are you enjoying yourself?
Have you come to watch the animals feed, Mr. Radcliffe?
You mean like a chimpanzee's tea party? You're the only one that gets up to any monkey tricks here, Babs.
Hey, sir, do you know any tricks? I bet you could teach us some.
All right, Glenda, drop it.
I should watch the deputy, madam. Getting a bit fruity down there. Just make sure you've got him with you when you go out.
I'll do that, yes. Everything else all right?
Oh, lovely grub. All we need now is a drop of the hard stuff to wash it down. Bloody hope, I suppose.
No.
See you for a minute, please.
The governor's busy now. It'll have to wait, Georgie.
Just for a minute, please.
All right, Mrs. Weeks. A minute it is. Come on.
Oh,
It looks charming.
well, not like it was in the old days when I had all my little things and ornaments and that. Then it really did look nice.
I'm sure it did. Now, I don't want you to miss anything.
Oh, no, it's just
Here it is at last. The chef's own special mystery Christmas cake. Well, now, for those of you who haven't attended one of these operations before, perhaps I had better explain that as well as the usual charms, the chef just happened to drop a 50p piece into the mixture. And for those of you who've been here rather longer than some of the others, 50p is the same as 10 shillings. And you are going to help me find it. Forceps, scalpel, kidney dish. Now, I will make the first incision.
It's just that you've been so good to us, and I wanted to give you a little something for Christmas.
Well, that's a kind thought, but you know I can't accept presents.
Well, it isn't exactly a present, and I'm sorry about the wrapping.
Oh,
It's a Christmas card. I couldn't get a robin.
well, that doesn't matter. It's the nicest one I've had so far.
Oh, do you mean it? Well, I did try and make it kind of special.
I know, great.
Oh, I'm back! Oh, it's the bloody horse! Too bad it won't fit on a cow. Here, girl. I've saved your bit for you. Oh, Tarmini. Here. There's a bit missing. Here. Look. Cop that. The bloody 10-bob bit. I've got it.
Good for you, Beanie.
Well done, Beanie.
Wait a Wait a minute. You nicked that off my plate.
Oh, Georgie, would I nick off of you?
You'd nick off your own grandmother if she hadn't died before Queen Victoria.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Just to show there's no ill feeling, I'll split it with you.
Good on you, Beanie.
Oh, well, Mr. Bradley.
Just a minute, Babs. How's your roommate?
It's all right. I'm just thinking about a little girl.
I see.
Well, thanks for looking after her. You all set for tonight? Trixie's doing a number in the show.
Yes, I know. How long a spot do you do?
Whatever I'm asked for. 5, 10, 20 minutes. It was the 20-minute spot that landed me in here. You know what I mean. Come on, mister.
Is this sherry regulation issue?
It's strictly against regulations. But I think we need a little fortifying for the hours ahead.
This concert isn't going to be that bad, is it?
Of course not. But I've had experience this sort of thing. It's as well to be prepared.
Come on, as you know perfectly well what I'm talking about.
Well, if Peter thinks there's something wrong, it's up to him.
Hold on, would you? Just think about it for a minute. You're both so damn proud you won't even cross the room to say hello to each other. Over what? He doesn't know. He honestly doesn't know.
Oh, well, perhaps you're right. Perhaps I'm just being silly.
Is your husband coming, Mrs. Armitage?
No, madam, he's not very well at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'd hoped that my daughter Ellen would come, but she hasn't turned up yet.
I'm looking forward to meeting her. All the security arrangements checked?
Yes, Governor. All visitors will have their passes stamped at the gate. They'll be escorted to the wing in a group, and then their passes will be stamped again on exit.
Good.
We are restricting the numbers this year to a close family of the officers and staff on the wing.
Yes.
Hello, Liz.
Hello.
I've just been asking Peter, how are you?
Ah, never better, thanks.
Yes, actually, would you get that?
Oh, I've never been better, thanks. Hello.
Hello yourself.
I think perhaps we should move down now.
Yes, of course.
Excuse me.
What are you doing after the show?
What did you have in mind?
What was that?
I said it oughtn't to be allowed.
I'll bet.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the lovely Trixie Hall, recently voted Miss Porridge by the Parkers. And now we bring you 2 for the price of 1 at no extra expense. 2 songbirds in romantic duet. Your own, your very own, Georgie Weeks and Phoebe Girl in the world, and I was the only boy. Nothing else would matter in the world tonight. We would go on loving in the same old way. God, there'll be just make nothing to bother. I would say.
Everything's all right, is it, Ellen? Only I thought when you didn't turn up. Oh, I see. Yes, of course I understand. I just wondered, that's all. Your dad's all right, is he? Fine. Fine, love. I'll see you later. Bye.
Gentlemen, the dynamic duo will be back later in the evening. But now, 3 silence for a dramatic monologue, brought to you this evening by our surprise, and I do mean surprise, guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the
dramatic monologue entitled You've guessed. Somebody's been talking up there. Right. There's a famous seaside town called Blackpool that's noted for fresh air and fun. Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom went there with young Albert, their son. A grand little lad were young Albert, all dressed in his best, quite a swell, with a stick.
With a horse's head handle!
The finest that there was. Now, they didn't think much to the ocean. The waves, they was fiddling and small. There was no wrecks, nobody drowned. In fact, nothing to laugh at all. So, seeking for further amusement,
You take us
they
off.
paid and went
We
into
could have done an encore. No. What do you mean, bloody no? They were bloody shouting for us. Let them shout. Oh, keep them wanting more, you mean? Let them have the chief for 10 minutes. What is it?
Bit of all right, Beanie. To celebrate. I cooked it up in the laundry last week.
Blimey, smells a bit bloody nifty.
No, well, don't have to have none.
Oh, they
Try
was
me.
ferocious and wine. And to see
Hold on. Leave some for me.
what seemed right.
Talk about firewater.
Straight away the
Here,
brave
pass it
little
over.
Not showing a morsel of fear, took his stick with the horse's head and poked it in Wallace's ear. You could see that the lion didn't like it. For giving a kind of a roll, he pulled Albert inside a cage with him.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Enjoy it. Good night. Good night. Good night.
The same old way. A garden of Eden just made. Oh, blimey. You at it again, are you? Nobody likes me. Nobody wants me. I'm not bloody surprised. You're jealous of everything and everybody. Oh, give over! I'm not having that all night again. Bloody hell.
Hello, Ellen.
Hello, Ma.
Where's your dad? Is he all right?
Oh, he's fine. Tired, that's all. He's lying down.
And you stayed with him, eh?
Oh, yes. I wanted to come to the show, but didn't seem right to leave him on his own at Christmas.
Oh, that was kind.
Not kind. I'd do more if you'd let me.
You can pour us a cup of tea if you like.
Anyway, it's not just Dad I worry about. Look at you. You need a rest, too.
I'm used to it. I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I stopped. How do you think he is?
He seems a bit frail. A lot older.
Ever since he had that blackout and fell.
Blackout?
Doctor did warn me.
What do you mean, blackout?
You remember that last time he fell? It wasn't just an accident. The doctor told me afterwards that he'd had a blackout and that there would be more.
But why didn't you tell me?
Well, I didn't want to worry you, love.
You must let me know these things, Mum.
Yeah, well, it isn't just me. You know what your dad's like. He doesn't like people fussing over him.
Look, don't you think you'd better tell me all about it?
Are Ellen gone then?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago. How are you? All right?
Fine. How was the show?
Oh, it was great. Even better than last year, and that's saying something.
How did the recitation go?
It was fine. Everyone was most appreciative. Women enjoy a good laugh. I'm not sure whether they laugh most at the monologue or me stood up there doing it. Anyway, I don't really mind. Right. You try and get your rest. I'll come to bed shortly.
Heartburn. Like a knife twisting. I've never had it so bad.
Too much Christmas lunch, eh?
I was awake half the bloody night.
Oh, well, what goes down must come up, so they say. Here, drink this.
What is it?
Well, it's just something to settle you. Well, go on, drink it. Otherwise, I'll recommend that you get put on a light diet for a couple of days.
What, and miss the only decent meals we get the whole bloody year?
That's right.
Ooh, it's worse than the stuff Georgie makes.
What's that?
Nothing.
All right, Beanie, off you go. I'll send some of that stuff down the wing for you. You'll be given 2 spoonfuls in water after every meal.
Bloody sadist.
Wait outside until you hear the bell.
And then come in fighting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do sit down.
No, I can't. I've got half a dozen New Year releases to see. Oh, I just wanted to say thanks for last night.
Pleasure.
Quite. Oh, you said something about this evening?
Yes, well, I just thought that you might like to go out.
Well, no, not really.
Oh.
I thought you might prefer to stay in. Just a quiet evening?
Perfect.
I'll expect you about 8.
7:30.
George isn't looking too well. Well, I see excitement, I suppose. Hey, and doing that show must be pretty tiring for someone her age. She's very good at it, yes. Still, I'll be quite glad when all this jollity's over.
Oh, surely you don't grudge them a wee holiday.
No, of course I don't. It's just addicted so long to sit down after.
Hey! Yeah, I thought you were wonderful. Is it hard to learn?
No, anybody can take the clothes off.
Yeah, but you get paid for it. How much did you get?
100 quid.
Whoa, blimey! 100 quid a week?
A night.
Oh, will you teach me?
What's so special about being a stripper?
Conceited bitch. Shut up.
Hello. What are you doing up then?
Gonna get your breakfast.
You are not.
You've got the morning off, your first lie-in for months, so just sit down and leave it to me.
All right then, love. Kettle's on. Hello, Ellen.
Hello, Mum. Got the day off?
Well, only till lunchtime.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, love.
How are you?
Fine. Where's Sammy?
I left her at the commune.
Why?
Oh, it's too tiring for you having her running around.
One of the few things I have left to enjoy is my granddaughter. Now, don't tell me it's too tiring for me to see her.
She's coming to tea tomorrow, Dad.
Good. I'm just making a pot now. Like some?
Oh, I'll get it.
No. Sit down with your mother. Leave it to me.
We didn't expect to see you here this morning.
I didn't know you'd be here.
So?
I don't think Dad should be left on his own, that's all. As I've got a few days off,
Well, I'm glad you thought of it.
Well, I know it's no good waiting for you to ask me to help. You're not the asking kind. I realise it's up to me. Still, it's a bit of a waste, really. I can only stay for the morning.
No, it's not a waste. You can help me turn the beds. Come on. They're working you hard at that hospital.
Fairly. Especially now I'm into group therapy.
Oh, is that part of psychiatric nursing?
Comes into it. But I've got a chance of becoming a therapist myself.
Oh?
No objections?
No.
Thought you saw all that as time-wasting rubbish, wasn't it?
Well, we all change, Ellen. I have to admit that therapy works in the drug unit, and I'll back anything that works. Good God, what's that?
Dad?
Drop the flaming kettle. Look, it was empty. Get the tray, will you, love?
Thank you, Mrs. Spencer. Everything all right?
Good as lambs, madam. Nobody wants to be on report on Boxing Day.
Something wrong with old Georgie?
No, I thought there was, sir, but no, she's fine.
Congratulations on your performance last night, Trixie. Thank you, madam.
Yes, very artistic.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed. That's going to be my new act. Showing less, but meaning more. If you know what I mean.
Yes, I think we do.
You've got them all now, haven't you? All on your side.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You think you're clever? So bloody clever. What do you want?
It's time we had it out.
Look, I've got nothing to say to you.
So, keep off my back.
Or what?
Look, if nobody wants to know you, that's your problem, sweetie. Just don't try and work it off on me.
Look, I can see what you're trying to do. You've got them all round, haven't you, like bloody flies round a honey pot, just so you can turn them against me.
As far as I'm concerned, they can all drop dead. You first.
How dare you, you bitch!
Don't try it, sweetie. Just don't try it.
And thank you, Miss Parsons, for handling the concert so well.
Oh, well, it was nearly all ready when I took over, madam. Only held the fort, so to speak.
Ah, but with all flags flying.
It can't have been easy learning all those speeches.
It's the hardest bit.
I thought Babs Ryan was supposed to be doing the chairman.
Ah, well, she dropped out to the last minute.
Well, it didn't show. Congratulations again. Mrs. Armitage, I didn't expect to see you here yet.
Well, I thought as we were a bit short-handed today, madam.
Thank you. Have arrangements been made for the women on the other wings to see the concert?
Oh, yes, madam.
So with any luck, it will be over in one more performance.
That's right.
We don't want a concert party touring the wings night after night.
We're using East Wing this time. It's bigger, you know.
Oh, good.
Well, you're just in time for another lunch, madam.
Oh, no.
Governor?
No, I don't want to think of food.
What about him here?
By golly, some of those girls can stuff it away, though.
Yes, well, apart from the regulars, almost the only cases I treat at Christmas are tummy upset. The irregulars, I suppose you might say.
Yes, I saw old Georgie Weeks looking a bit under the weather today.
Well, that's because she believes in stuffing herself. Like Beanie Dixon.
I think on the whole everybody enjoyed themselves, though, don't you?
Except Babs Ryan. What's the matter with her? She's still a bit of a loner, isn't she?
Ah, she's a born troublemaker.
Oh, she's got a chip on her shoulder. She goes through those periods when she feels everybody's against her.
Well, most of them are.
Yes, but what she doesn't realise is it's her own fault.
Well, I suppose all we can do is keep an eye on her. Oh, do stop eating those biscuits. You've had more than enough. Governor?
No, hold that! Get the bedding outside! We don't want the place filled with smoke. Now then, that's all right. Calm down, lady. Everything's under control, madam.
What happened?
It was an accident. I was having a snout, fell asleep.
She nodded off and the cigarette set light through her bedding.
Well, she'd better go and lie down for a while.
Take her to George's.
Turn off that alarm bell, will you, Miss Collins?
Are you sure it was an accident?
Well, I shall have another look round when the smoke's clear, but I don't think there's much damage done.
Jeep! Quick! Jeep!
Georgie?
Georgie? Georgie?
I'll get North Wing to bring Beanie Dixon up here. I want her under observation.
Thank you.
Hello, Marion. All the excitement over?
Oh, yes, thank heavens.
I hope you don't mind. I'd just like a word with Mrs. Weeks.
Oh, haven't you heard? She's been rushed up to the hospital, poisoning of some sort. Peter's been trying to reach you. He says he's sorry about tonight, but he's going to have to stay with her.
Yes, of course. How is she?
Well, apparently it's touch and go.
All right, so you know nothing about the booze. What about the fire? Sit down, Trixie. You were seen to have words with Babs, and then you followed her into a cell.
Oh, come off it. That was a couple of hours before any of this happened. Or perhaps the Gestapo didn't tell you that.
It's not funny, Trixie, and it could have been serious.
It's no concern of mine.
There's not much that is there? You don't care much about anything.
Should I? I'm in this place because what I did was considered okay in one town and a crime in another. I mean, the law who booked me was laughing at my act. And then the magistrate hits me with 6 months.
Well, it's always a risk in your profession, isn't it? And after all, it's not the first time.
It's another 6 months out of my life.
Well, there's no point in being bitter about it. You're young enough. You got plenty of time.
Wrong. I might have 5 or 6 years left in which to make big money. After that, it's skin flicks and porno shots, and I don't want to get that far. I just want to get this whole thing over with as quickly and quietly as possible and get out.
Yes, I can understand all that. But what I really want to hear about from you is the fire.
Oh, you really think I had something to do with it?
No. But I thought you might have heard something. I'm not asking you to be an informer. I just thought you were intelligent enough not to cover up for someone who could do themselves a lot of harm, and other people.
Look, if I knew anything, I'll tell you.
How is she?
We've pumped her out, the little that was left inside her. But her heart's weak, liver and kidneys shot to hell.
What can you do for her?
Now, I've done everything that I can. She just hasn't got the strength left to fight. The next few hours are going to be critical. I'll stay with her.
Well, look in on your way home. I shan't be asleep. I'll give you a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Ted? Oh. Ted! Doctor, goodbye.
What did he say?
There's some improvement, a little maybe. There's limited movement in the right leg, none at all in the left. It's what I've always been afraid of, a bad fall.
Another blackout, was it?
Yes.
Oh, I should have been here.
It might not have made any difference, love.
Somebody should have been.
What does that mean?
I mean that Dad's left on his own, day after day.
What do you think we'd live on if I didn't work?
That's all you live for, that prison.
It's my job.
Oh, you never left us in any doubt about that. That always came first.
What about you? Did you stay here when we asked you to? No, you had to take Sammy and go away and live in that commune.
Oh, not again.
Growing up so she doesn't know which one of you's her mother.
Well, I never had any doubts. The one with the hard hands that slapped me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Neither did I. We're both a bit on edge, love.
So it looks as though the fire was an accident after all.
Yes, Babs said she left the cell because of Beanie's snoring, but she didn't notice that she was lying there, still holding a lighted cigarette.
I see.
I wish I could be sure. There was something strange about Ryan's attitude after the fire was discovered.
Yes.
Ah, Peter, how's Mrs. Weeks?
Well, she's not responding too well. Her pulse is weak, the heart's fibrillating, contracting irregularly. I've tried to steady it.
And Mrs. Dixon?
Beanie? Oh, she's all right. Mind you, I don't think she drank anything like as much of the stuff. Of course, she says she didn't drink anything. Doesn't know what we're all talking about.
Have you found out yet what it was they were drinking?
Yes, I have it analysed. It's a mixture of turpentine and methylated spirits diluted with lemonade, with some crushed peppermint to give it flavour.
Oh, Struth.
Now, where would they get turpentine, methylated spirits?
Probably stolen from one of the painting details. Yes, come to think of it, they were painting the laundry last week and Mrs. Weeks was working there.
The chief guessed yesterday it'd be something like that.
Did Charles tell you about Mrs. Armitage?
Yes, that's a bad business.
But I thought Hey, what a dance.
I'm trying to give it up.
Hey, you was going to teach me. You promised.
Oh, all right, Glenda. But I'm a bit bush, see. Oh, why don't we sit this one out, eh?
Come on, Georgie.
I couldn't keep it down.
Now, just a little. You've got to keep your strength up. Now, come on. For me. Oh, Georgie, you're a bit poorly. You're going to have to help me. What?
I want to see the chief.
7010? Yes, it's Mrs. Armitage. Oh, Dr. Mays. Yes, thank you very much. He's a little better, but I'm afraid he's still in a lot of pain. Sorry? Oh, no. I'm sorry, that's just not possible. No.
Well, I'm sorry even to ask, Mrs. Armitage, but it is important. You see, I can't find any way to make her respond. She's got no strength left, and she keeps on asking to see you.
Hello, Mrs. Armitage. It's Miss Clark. Yes. Look, it is important. Well, if it's a question of your husband being on his own, I could come around and sit with him if you like.
Yes, Miss Clark, thank you very much, but my daughter Ellen is here. Yes, I do understand, but I'm afraid it's quite out of the question. No.
That the prison?
Yeah.
What they want?
Oh, nothing of any importance.
Didn't sound like it.
Do they want you to go in?
Yeah.
Typical.
Well, it's just that someone isn't very well and they've been asking for me.
Who?
Mrs. Weeks.
Mrs. Weeks? You're Mrs. Weeks?
Georgie Weeks, yeah, she's had a bad turn.
You'll have to go.
No, I've just told them it's out of the question.
Of course she can't go, Dad.
You don't understand, Ellen. Old Georgie's ill and asking for your mother, she must go. They wouldn't have rung if it wasn't urgent.
Let you go then, Beanie.
Nothing wrong with me. Waste of time, bloody poking about.
How's Georgie?
I hear she's sinking.
It's not too hopeful, Miss Collins.
Oh, dear.
Can I have a room when she snuffs it?
No, Beanie, certainly not.
Well, it's my right. When she pegs out, I'm the oldest inhabitant. I have a right to a room of my own. It's the rule.
There's no such rule. And anyway, how do we know that Georgie's going to peg out?
Don't even think about it.
Well, where am I going to go then?
With Babs, where you usually are.
I don't want to go there.
There's a new mattress and blankets. Nothing else was damaged.
You go where you're put, Beanie. Now, that's the end of it.
Don't bloody well want to go there.
Nurse. Thanks for coming.
Georgie? Georgie, it's me. I've come to see you.
Gee.
What's all this then, eh?
I don't want to die amongst strangers.
You're not among strangers, Georgie.
You're the only one who knows me proper. 20 years.
Is it? So it is. Be another 20 years and all if you don't behave yourself. What's all this about dying, eh? Giving in? Georgie Weeks? I don't believe it. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. That's your new motto, my girl. Oh, come on, Georgie. You're a fighter. That old generation of screws and cons wouldn't believe any different if you told them. Hey, you remember that dust-up you had with Jessie... What was her name? Jessie... Jessie Ben, that was it. She nearly broke your back, but you won.
I landed 15 days in the choking. Bread and water tart.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Knock. Blackmailing old Lizzie Bromborough, she was.
Yeah, nasty piece of work she was.
Hey, Beanie.
Hello, Beanie.
How do?
Feeling better? I hear they're not going to give you Georgie's room.
Dead liberty. It's my right. I'm the oldest.
Of course you are.
Probably older than Georgie Weeks, if she spoke the truth.
After all, you don't want to go back to sharing with Babs, do you?
Creepy little squid.
Yeah. Glenda was telling them.
She don't know nothing.
Well, I mean, Babs did go off and leave you. You could have been badly burned.
Fact not you know. It was her set fire to the mattress.
You're kidding.
It's a fact. These screws were so thick, they didn't even twig it. It was her bedding that got caught on fire, not mine.
Well, I wouldn't have covered for her. I'd have shocked her.
Oh, it's better to score with them, innit? Bloody silly screws. They didn't even find the knife.
Knife? Oh, so that's why you're scared to go back?
No, she wouldn't use it on me. She hasn't got the guts. It's for herself. Any time now.
What do you mean?
She's got it all worked out. If you try to do away with yourself during the day, somebody's sure to find you. She's going to cut her wrists after lights out. That's why I can't sleep. I lie there, waiting for the blood to come dripping down.
Well, you've certainly given yourself a Christmas to remember. Mind you, Madam will want to talk to you about that hooch you made.
Oh. It was horrible.
I don't doubt it. Whatever did you make it for?
Won't be Christmas, would it? Without a little drop of something.
Better if they acknowledge the fact.
Yes, please. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, that was splendid.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Helen, shall I open another bottle?
Why not? The others won't be leaving just yet.
I rather hoped they would.
Yes, it's a pity the other wings won't see those two old dears singing.
Oh, so you think they won't be back next Christmas?
Hey, that was quite sharp.
Oh, I'm not just a pretty face.
No, but a couple of glasses of wine help, don't they?
They certainly do. I find myself saying and doing all sorts of things. I just can't stop myself.
I'd like to be around to see that.
How long have you been married, then?
Oh, 10 years.
Oh, is there such a thing as a 10-year itch?
Touché.
Yes, I was really rather touched. I was surprised she didn't give it to Mrs. Armitage.
Oh, but she's got a great admiration for you, Helen. I mean, a lot of the women do.
Thank you, Peter.
Right, one for the road. Oh.
Is that a hint?
No, of course not. Stay as long as you like.
Oh, well, now, that's rather a dangerous thing to say to me, because at parties I'm always the last person to leave. I simply can't bear to go home.
No, so I've noticed.
Do you, fancy coming on for a drink somewhere when we leave here?
I'd love to, but I'm meeting my boyfriend.
Ah. Well, don't say I didn't ask.
Are you leaving? Yes, I've had a marvellous time, Governor, but I'm afraid that if I stay, I'll trip over the furniture. Thanks again. Not at all. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, I think you're oversimplified.
Well, maybe I am oversimplified. Look, I was just saying that all of us get sloshed out of our minds from time to time, and it is still socially acceptable. But here we are, putting an old woman in prison for doing just that.
Paradox.
She's very lucky even to be alive.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You say she was better after seeing Mrs. Armitage?
Yes, well, there wasn't a dramatic change, but there was certainly some improvement. See, somehow the chief seemed to give her back an interest in living again.
It's a gift some people have.
Mind you, I wouldn't have given much for her chances last night.
No, I know. Isn't it strange how more distressing the thought of death seems at this time of the year?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I wasn't very good company last night.
Oh, no. No, I was very grateful. I didn't want to have to make conversation.
Good.
Were you here last night?
Oh, yes, I just dropped in.
When?
Well, after I saw that there was nothing more I could do for Georgie.
You didn't mention it.
It didn't come up.
Well, I think it might have done. After all, you broke a dinner engagement with me, but you didn't think of dropping in on me.
Look, Liz.
Yes, well, I'm sorry you're going, but...
Yeah, are you going? I'll give you a lift if you like.
Oh, will you? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. I've enjoyed myself.
Oh, good night. Good night. I'm so glad.
That was a rather sudden departure, wasn't it?
You don't miss anything, do you? All right, you can put this in your scrapbook. Miss Clark has just withdrawn inside her shell, and as far as I'm concerned, my dear Charles, she can stay inside it from now on.
Shall I... Oh, thank you. Oh, you haven't finished. Right.
Hello. Did you get the message?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, dear, everyone seems to be leaving at once.
Yes, well, I decided I wouldn't be the last person to leave this time. After all, we did sit up rather late last night.
We promised to drop in on the officers' club, and I wanted to compliment the principal officers and the wings and the way they coped over the last couple of days.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Pete.
Well, I hope that I'll be asked again.
Of course.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Dear.
Oh, peace at last.
Sorry they left so early.
Well, I'm not.
No, you were almost throwing them out of the door.
Oh, well, I assumed they had things to do.
Well, shall we finish off the bits?
No, Helen, I want to take you out to dinner.
Oh, no, not tonight.
Oh, come on, please. There's something I want to talk about. Well, that we must both talk about.
Look, I do have work to do.
Well, let it wait.
No, it can't. I know you've been very kind spending time with me, and I am grateful.
Kind?
But I really do have some reports to finish, and then...
Yes, I'm sure you
my
have.
night rounds to make.
I know that you
Look,
have these...
Tom, my work is important to me. In fact, it's the only important thing in my life. I'm sorry.
Right, get settled down. Lights out in 10 minutes.
Mrs. Spencer, could I have a word?
Beanie? Beanie? What do you want? Where's Beanie? She's gone into my cell. Well, you're not coming in here. Go on, get out! What do you want?
You stupid
Keep away from me!
Look, I'm trying to...
You're gonna do me?
I'm not. I'm trying to help.
Well, you're too late!
Jesus! Get away!
Give me
back!
Oh, that's... Agnes, get in here quickly.
You better get her down to the hospital, Mrs. Spencer.
Right, come on now. Quickly.
Come on now, what's it all about?
She was trying to do herself in with this. Just earning myself a little remission.
You know I can't make deals like that.
No, of course you can't. But I'm sure you'll put in a good word for me.
Thanks. Thanks for everything.